Or that too.
All right, we're live.
All
Wow.
right.
Wow. That's
0.
well, what better way?
These nuts.
Yeah, on loop. There it is. All right. What better way to start off the show than having a unidentified flying object look like coming towards us at a City Field
Look at that.
from Men in Black. Remember Men in Black at Shea Stadium?
I
Did you
do
lose
remember
that?
that.
Okay.
Bernard Gilkey looking up, right?
Gilkey. Little Bernard Gilkey.
Bernard.
Keith is handling his video situation over there, and he's back.
There it is.
There, that's for sure. All right. Let's reel this bad boy back in. Welcome on into the Put in the Book Show, Season 7, Episode 3. Forgive us in advance for the giddiness and the good mood that's gonna be had around here. I am Steve. Is it always this way? I got Keith right on over here. What's going on, sir?
What is
How's
wrong
it
with
hanging?
you?
What's going on?
I don't know what's happening right now. I feel like I always do this, and it's Rodriguez, and I don't know.
No,
You know,
that was
no?
it was just last week.
Oh,
No, that's weird. We're gonna that's not jinx
Oh,
the
God.
Nets. Let's not jinx the
yeah.
Nets. Put it back. Put it back.
That's true. Producer Joe, don't jinx.
Put it back,
Don't jinx
Producer
what's
Joe.
working.
We can't do that show like that. Oh, Jesus Christ! You want him to lose every game? No, put it back.
All right, there we go. No,
That's
yes,
better.
there it is. All right, well, Keith, welcome. Welcome on in from your great seat right behind home plate.
What is up?
Rodriguez, what's going on with you, buddy?
What's up, man? I'm just a happy camper. I'm a happy Mets fan. I'm gonna really enjoy this week.
Good thing since our last episode.
Good thing. Oh my gosh. A lot of good things.
It's such good stuff that not even the guy behind that wall could have anything negative to say.
There you go.
Well, I mean, that's a positive output.
That wasn't negative.
Output.
No, I don't think
sure.
so.
It's a
I wonder if
positive
it's on the
output.
rainbow cookie.
It's not a positive output for his wife. I hope she's not there.
Well, that's true.
I want to find out. Let's find out in this episode if anybody has tried the rainbow cookie egg roll. I'm obsessed with this thing. That's what I want to find out. If anybody has said, "Oh, I can't wait. I want to eat like 3 of them."
And
all right.
Oh,
I don't care. It's like a once, twice, 3 times in a lifetime thing. I'll have 3 of them. That's fine. It's one. It's a little splurge. All right. But so what are we going to talk about? The Mets have won. 10 of the last 13. They went 5. They go 5-1 on this homestand since last we spoke. The vibe is good. The vibe is good around the team. So, Producer Joe, get this bad boy started so we can have some fun.
Put up the bullets.
All right, welcome on back into episode 3 of season 7. First things first, I would like to just say to all the douchebags up in New York media who said when the Mets were 0-5 that the Mets were not going to sniff 500 for the remainder of the season.
Be specific. Be specific. Don't say.
But I can't even think of his name.
Sal Licata, right?
Sal Licata.
Yeah.
This team ain't gonna sniff 500. The New York Post was saying the same thing. Boom. 10 of 13 games later, on the victory side, the Mets stand at 10-8. And while we're not, thumping our chest and boasting about being 2 games over 500, we are boasting about 10 wins in 13 games and the rest of the stats that we're going to talk about today. So
we're boasting about making people eat their words, especially that bald-headed hawk.
Hell yeah. All right, so we came into as we left last week's show, it was the Royals and the Pirates, 2 of the hotter teams in baseball. Let's call it that. Royals.
So it was.
Obviously took care of business that middle game, but the Mets handled that first game. Remember what we talked about Rodriguez last week? The run differential, the Royals were pounding teams. They had like a plus 35 or something like that. And in the first game, they managed 2 hits. Second game, they put up 11 runs. Third game, 3 hits or something like that. So Rodriguez, start with you. What have you seen? It's going to be a long list. What have you seen the positives coming out of this pitching staff?
Dude, they're pitching to contact. They're coming in, they're throwing strikes, they're moving the ball up and down and all around, and they're doing what they've done their whole career. We basically have pitchers that are 5, 6, maybe 7 inning pitchers every once in a blue moon that'll keep you in the game. They'll give up 3 to 4 runs. They'll manage the game. That we have no world beaters out there, no super aces, but these guys are moving the ball around, pitching to contact, throwing strikes, and making the batters have to hit the ball, of course. And we're playing good. And it's not just one guy doing it. It's everyone on the staff, even the guys coming up to help out, like Budo. He came in and he did exactly that. Hit every corner, changed speeds, did everything that a pitcher, not a thrower, is supposed to do. So when you have pitchers, you can stay in the game. It's nice to have an ace once in a while to come in and blow people away. However, we don't have that until Senga comes back. So we're going to have to deal with what we have right now. And these are just good to decent pitchers with a 3 to 4 run ERA, and have to rely on our bullpen. That's the good news. They've done their job, and the bullpen has done their job. And finally, the offense came around and started doing their job, and that's why we won 10 out of 13, because the pitchers stayed steady. The bullpen did their job, came in and held the other team, and the offense finally started to hit. So it's good all the way around, dude. All 3 facets of the game are working: offense, defense, and pitching. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. That's why we're doing so well. But we still need a little bit of forethought in that, where we need a little bit of offense. JD needs to come up and start playing on the team again. And the guys that are still a little bit slow, like Lindor and Alonso, are sometimey, and Nimmo and stuff, they need to get a little bit more steadier. But thank God for the bottom of that lineup, huh? They're saving,
like you said,
saving our
everything
butts.
seems to be clicking here. Keith, Severino so far.
You can say his name now.
I can say his name now.
Yeah, see,
he's pitching 2.14 ERA, Keith.
I really saved all my criticism for Severino to see what he does and his performance in the season. And so far, he's been doing really well. He said this is the best I've felt in a long time. My first full spring training, and he's coming out and performing like he did when he was at the top of his game. His first game, I think, of the regular season sucked, but since then he's been really solid. He's been battling, and I think he's going to be a good, solid, maybe our number 2 pitcher when Senga comes back. He
got his first neon from Athlete Logos, I think. After they do the little neon.
Oh, right.
Producer Joe sent in the chat. Yeah, I know you don't pay. Nobody pays attention to what producer Joe says in the chat. So.
And the whole pitching staff to what Rodriguez was saying. I wanted to just kind of give my thoughts on that too. I agree with Rodriguez 100%, but
don't do that.
The staff has been crafty. We're pitching crafty. We're not pitching power. We're not pitching to overwhelm. we're being crafty, we're battling. I think the walks are a little too high sometimes in some games. Like that Hauser game with 5 walks, a little bit too much for my liking because that
That
could
was
turn
rough.
into a disaster against a team like the Dodgers or the Braves. But in general, they're looking really good. And the thing that really encourages me is even when we went 0-5, the pitching was still there, where the hitting was not. So the pitching has been consistent throughout this whole entire young season, and I think that's amazing. So I'm hopeful for that to continue. But and I think Rodriguez mentioned this, we do need to see them get a little bit more than 5 innings in, because otherwise we're going to kill our bullpen and we're going to start losing games in the late innings.
Quick, real quick.
It'll be a quick turnaround. Yeah,
Right.
like kind of like last year.
But they have been in the last starts going to 6, couple of starters going to 6.
Severino went 6.
So,
they've been efficient with their pitches too.
Yeah, it's starting to
Pitch
balance
counts
a little
haven't
bit.
been-
They've been very efficient and it's starting to balance a little bit. I just worry about the walks in some of those games. But other than that, man, I'm stoked.
They have walks because they're trying to hit corners and they're
Right.
being crafty. If they wouldn't have as many walks, if Severino came on and a couple of times he said, I mean, he didn't say it, but he actually just said, you know what, I'm throwing the fastball. He threw 96, 97, hit it. Screw it. After a while, you got to just say, you know what, I got my fastball.
You
You're
got to
trying
let
to hit
loose,
it.
yeah.
And that's it. But that's the reason we have walks, because he, like a Hauser, so many walks. He's a pinpoint type of guy, just like Quintana. If Quintana's not on, Keith, that last game by Quintana, it really says a lot about him, because he had a bad game for him. He had a bad game. He was off. He wasn't on. He wasn't hitting his corners, but he battled all the way to the 5th inning. He battled 5 innings and he kept us in the game. And that's what we have. So you're gonna see walks. I don't know if they're gonna really go away, because guys are not afraid of our guys. But if they start hitting those corners and actually hitting for strikes, it's gonna force the other team to swing. And the fact that we put pressure on them every inning, our guys are starting to hit, so they're on base. And when you put pressure on the other team, they have to react to the pressure. Do they rise up to the challenge, or do they not? Right now, they haven't, because we just keep putting pressure and pressure and pressure, and we have a good pitching staff. So it all kind of works itself out. It's part of the process, you know. So
Yeah, and
I'm happy.
The resiliency of the offense through the streak has really put pressure on the other side and relieve the pressure on our side in terms of who's on the mound. I just, Rodriguez, I know it's how many games to the season? We got 100 some odd
18.
games to go, but I still worry about like playoff push. And when we start playing those big teams and you get those walks, it's going to kill us. But I know I'm way ahead of myself.
Don't. Your brain's going to explode. Everybody, we got to remember, it's not football. We got 100. And
listen, that's why the
games
Mets can give you health issues if you do what I do. So don't do what I do.
100%, right?
Hear what I say and do the opposite.
Exactly.
All right, so I don't remember which one you guys mentioned putting pressure on, and just want to bring up things like the double steal that they pulled off late in the game.
Boom.
What they are doing is putting a ton of pressure on the bullpen. The Mets are the best team in baseball, scoring runs from the 7th inning through the 9th inning, and more specifically in the 8th inning. They're the best team in baseball in both those categories.
Can I just say real quick? I wasn't sure who Mendoza was as a manager, but I see the Mets starting to kind of take his attitude, and we have a lot of games to go to really see what that leads. But it's a lot different than our manager last year, who I love and I'm not criticizing. It's just different, and I'm starting to really appreciate this difference that Mendoza brings to the table.
Now that you brought that up, Keith, I'm thinking it's almost he's doing it out of necessity. He has to build an offense. And sometimes guys like a Bader or a Tyrone or these guys, they're not starters for a reason. They're not on the team, major league starters and stars and stuff for a reason. So, if you get them guys on base, you got to run them. The other teams, major league teams, are not expecting a lot of running. They're not expecting your catcher to steal second base. They're not expecting people to steal third base. Marte's running again. We didn't even mention Marte, guys. Marte's big this year. He's back and he's hitting like 270 and
We're only
hitting home
14 minutes
runs
into the
and
show.
playing power. I know. I'm just.
You hear-
if I get
you
excited,
hear
you're
his
upset.
demeanor
You're
like that?
trying to don't crank on me because I'm getting excited about the team. You know, if producer
I'm
Joe
not.
is
I'm
going
saying
to
we
take
haven't
care of it,
got
I'm
to,
just
to
saying,
Starlin
producer
Marte
Joe.
yet because
No.
we're very early.
I
This
just want to talk
this is
about
the top-
anything. I can't help
This
it.
is the top of the third inning here.
Farace,
Terzio is here. He has not
I
not given us a proper joke, but he did mention that Albie's got hurt. He's got suffered a fractured big toe. How long is he gonna be out for?
Albie's from the
From the Braves. Yes.
That's awesome. Feel so bad.
Out there.
Poor guy.
I don't know. It
I hope
doesn't really say.
Acuna's toes all stay healthy for the next 3 hours.
Beatty, they seem to believe after a couple days that they escaped the worst on Beatty, and he should be out for a couple days.
I don't understand this. I don't understand how a 24-year-old kid is almost pulling a hammy. I mean, what? I don't understand a pull hammy in the major leagues. I don't.
Well, it wasn't
how
play.
these
It's
guys
just a
do
tweak.
Just a tweak.
Hold on a
Come
second.
on, man.
What do you mean you don't understand it when it happens to 65 players a year?
I don't get it. I don't get it, dude.
I think it has to do
Because
with a little bit with the weather too, because
I guess you have to be an athlete to understand.
yeah.
I guess you would. Because guess what? When I did the Mets thing, they made my old ass. They made my old ass play, and I could barely walk. My knees were shot. So if my old ass could get could get there and play with these trainers they have, Batty should not be getting pulled muscles at 24 years old. Come on.
Can I just ad lib what George said? We're
Just
back.
Farace. Just dumbass comments. Farace.
We're back, baby.
What's happening right now?
I don't know. You're making me mad now.
You're losing control.
Why?
I said he's only.
I said we avoided the worst. He's going to be out a few days.
Keith.
Wow.
Keith, I don't know what's wrong with this guy.
I don't know. He's
all
taking
right.
control.
Let's reel this shit back to the homestand where I was kind of going with the whole Lindor thing, standing ovations, the entire homestand. Definitely responding from the right side. Got a couple of knocks from the left side as well. But what are you guys thinking about that? A little positivity goes a long way. A little love, Rodriguez. I'm trying to make you happy again.
No, you're not. You're not making me happy. Well, you brought up Lindor, right? Because he's Puerto Rican. Okay, I get that. Listen, here's the thing. Don't threaten his wife. Don't do stupid things like this, Met fans. Let the guy play. He plays every year. He's been playing for the last 7 to 10 years. He hits 20 home runs, drives in 80 RBIs, bats 260, 270. He's going to be there, and he's playing great, and he plays great defense. What more we have one of the top 5 shortstops in the league playing, a top 5 first baseman, a top 10 outfielder in Nemo. We have so much talent, and
You're
still
branching
complain.
off again. Let's stay.
I am. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to Lindor. I'm coming back.
I'm losing all because Laris has already got his hand raised. Go ahead.
You got a question? You, the white
I just
guy
want
with
to say
the funny
real
shirt.
quick that it's not Met fans. I understand why you said that because Met fans are, and I'm going to say a curse word, so mute if your children are with you. Met fans can be assholes on social media, but it's not Met fans because if you look at the real Met fans who go to the game, they stood and they cheered him, even though he was batting like 100 when he came into the ballpark, to support him based off of what happened. I think that's more of a one-off or two-off or a very small percentage, however you want to phrase it, of people who would do something like that. I would personally go to the ballpark and yell at him if he wasn't performing well. I would never threaten a man's family and children. And I think that's the case for most Met fans. I think it was just one or two little minuscule assholes.
One or 200.
I don't know about that. I mean, that's
millions of
That's also a small percentage.
I don't even want to justify it by repeating what was said, but what was said was really harsh, and that's just wrong. I'm all about going to a ballpark and yelling at some guy making $30 million who's sucking it up because he deserves it and he should perform, and I get it. But attacking his it's the game. Off the field, I would still be happy to see him. I would never attack his family. And these fans that do that are just ridiculous.
But the only way a guy like that should get attacked is if you see that he's not putting in the effort. Okay, if he's just standing there and letting the ball go by and getting struck out. But these guys put in the effort, man. You're gonna come on, boo somebody that and yell at somebody that's trying to bust their butt and do the best thing and do the best they can. I mean, that's just stupid to me. You got to appreciate the talent and the player
especially
more,
when you
and
know
let
what's
them.
coming. He's a slow starter. He's been a slow starter his whole career.
It's what he does. It's the way he plays. I mean, it's his game. So just don't be idiots. That's all I'm saying.
He earned the grace.
Yeah, and what's funny is that the other day, one of the games, they've run out of like positive things to say about Lindor, the announcers. So the other day he was going out on a pop up and he slides out of the way. Nimmo called him off, and so I thought it was funny that they say, "Oh, Lindor is one of the best in the game at just getting out of the way of a left fielder." They've run out of positive things to say. Yeah, Keith and these guys. They were like, "Oh, he knows how to get out of the way when somebody else is calling him off."
What is
Probably because somebody almost
about?
died the other day getting hit in the head, right?
No, it wasn't just that he knows how to get out of the way. It's that he does it with flair. That's what he was commenting on. He always does it with flair. Yeah.
Woo!
I didn't know Rick Flair was playing.
Yeah. Terzio, I saw something about yeah, he put out like a little calm video. Oh, okay, that was a nice nice little homestand.
But
Terzio, this Ryan Garcia guy who got thrown out at Citi Field is supposed to throw out the first pitch. I don't know if he's like a YouTuber or some dumb. I don't want to call it dumb. Let me retract that. Or some doofy guy, but apparently it was that he needed like all this entourage security to come in, and they said no, and so he got kicked out. I thought
he was a boxer,
or is he a boxer? I'm not even sure, but he that's a boxer. But anyway, he comes, he's on video saying, "Oh, F the Mets and screw the Mets." Okay,
I saw that. He was with Oscar De La Hoya, I believe. He was walking out with Oscar De La Hoya on the video.
No, I didn't.
So I'm making the assumption that he's a boxer, because otherwise, why would Oscar De La Hoya be with him unless Oscar's
Sergio said he's a boxer.
We're wearing those heels again and those stockings.
Sergio, 2 minutes after you ask who is Ryan Garcia, you got an answer for us. You could have Googled it before. Let us know.
Wow. Be nice.
All right, and then what else on the homestand? Defense was good. Guys, like we talked about, Wendell with a big base hit that doubled to kind of put us out in front. Boxer most likely getting knocked out this weekend. Good. Good. All Met fans are rooting against him this weekend. Good.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And like we talked about, some of the in the off season, some of the depth moves that we had talked about. They're all coming through. And then
a lot of depth helps.
Then let's go to shift to right field, Mr. Marte. Now it's Marte's time.
I can talk about Marte now. Thank you for your permission to let me talk about Marte.
I didn't say. I said it's Marte's time. I didn't say I grant you permission to talk about Marte now.
Thank you, oh dear master. Thank you.
Lighten up,
Marte. Yeah. Marte.
He is a boxer. He's likely getting knocked out this weekend.
Yes, and Met fans are rooting against him. Marte seems to be back. Hit an early home run a couple of games ago, and he seems to be locked in at the plate. Rodriguez, what you think? Sleepy Joe in the house. That Joe.
Who are we talking about?
Marte.
Keith, what do you think about Marte?
I love him.
To talk about Marte now.
I mean, Marte, Marte's Marte. He's going to Marte the field. When he's out there, he Martes. And he Martes to get on base, then he Martes to get on second. And then with his legs, he Martes to get home. And then when he's in the field, his glove Martes. I mean, there was a couple
great points.
Marte with his glove. But in general, he's a Marte.
And the arm.
No, he's. I mean, we all know what he's capable of. Last year he was hurt, and he didn't perform as what he should have been doing. But he seems to be back this year. All the rest, it has done him well, and he looks injury free to me. I'm down to sign him for another 2-year extension.
How about we find Bader? How about we find Bader for calling him off a ball and trying to throw somebody out at home with his chicken arm?
I didn't like that, but he made up for it. He's the big double home run. No,
he didn't make up for it. He made a mistake. He should know better.
Wow,
in my mouth a little bit. Hey, if you're gonna grade these guys as professionals, that was a mistake. A professional shouldn't make that mistake. He should know the arm strength of the guy to the left, the guy to the right. And that way Marte was coming in on the angle. Bader knew that he didn't have the angle and he doesn't have the arm. So he should have let Marte take it.
He was angling towards right field. Marte was coming in the ball. I mean, it was an obvious Marte ball.
I've seen a couple of little conflicts with him and Nimmo in left. I don't know if that's Nimmo just used to playing center or the same kind of thing where they're not listening to each other, call each other off. I don't know what's going on out there, but
well, when you're a center fielder, you got to call every ball, right? So Nimmo's probably
right. You take precedence. Same thing like a shortstop, a center fielder, they take precedence when they call a ball. But I think aside from that little boneheadedness he had, he's been looking pretty good in center. I got so used to Nimmo performing so well.
That's all we can
play
do.
That play that he made in the Quintana game. That was impressive. Snow cones.
The dude can play center. The dude can play.
And he's covering good ground and getting good jumps on balls for the most part, which Nimmo learned to do last year. Like I got so used to Nimmo last year, I thought Nimmo almost should have been a Gold Glover. And I thought Nimmo moving to the left makes him almost a guaranteed candidate to be a Gold Glover. What that means, I don't know, top 2, 3. But Bader has been doing well. I just want to see, because Nimmo's in left and what he's doing, I want to see him start getting some assists out there. But
Nimmo has no arm. What assist do you want from him?
But he's in left field. Gilkey had no arm. Remember, Gilkey
doesn't have no arm. Nimmo
he has a couple.
Nimmo has nothing.
He threw one runner out that I can remember this year.
But you remember Gilkey, who didn't really have an arm, and he had 22 assists with the Mets one year in the field. So
I don't remember that for Gilkey.
Bernard. All right. George says, how about the catcher's defense? Catching defense has been good from what I mean. Throwing the runners out, that's a different story. But that's a team type thing. They have not been good at throwing runners out. They have not thrown a runner out.
But in spring they were. Like, what happened?
Wait,
Right?
what?
Alvarez in spring was like gunning people down.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden in the regular season,
I don't think it's he's making bad throws necessarily. I think it's just a combination of things. I like what Pete's doing. Standing out a few steps instead of reaching for the tag to get the wrist. He's trying to tag the back of the ass.
Yeah, that's the way they play first base now. They have him playing in front of first base. They don't really have him touching first base and being right back there. But Pete is a pretty good first baseman, man. He's very mobile, very agile, dives for everything. Definitely.
We have false advertising on his defense.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with George.
He's improved.
And, I don't know, for those of you who've been on the show for a long time, Patrick,
Diana,
who used to chime in, and we were having an off conversation about this. And I was saying his team is definitely above average. Not everybody agrees, but I think he's definitely above average.
Absolutely, he's above average. Absolutely, you're right.
When you match that with his bat, he's a top first baseman in the league for sure.
He plays very well.
And by the way, player of the week
Thanks,
last week, 4 home runs. All right, let's switch gears real quick here from the games that happened on the diamond to Doc Gooden, the number retirement ceremony. Pretty cool. he did make mention a couple times about the Yankees, but I feel like that was more so digs on former owners. And you know what? Him continuing to say, "Listen, I tried to get back here. Nobody. I begged. AAA put me somewhere." You know, that was rough to hear because you don't know the story. You never heard it from him before that I've heard. But he really, he left the Yankees. He tried. And then he wound up with the Indians, went back to the Yankees. And you know what? The fact that he said I went back to the Yankees and won a World Series, was okay. But because he was practically begging to come back, AAA, and they wouldn't give him.
He threw a no-hitter with the Yankees, didn't he?
Yep, threw a no-hitter.
Let's not be too happy with him right now. Let's let that go.
Oh no,
put that in the back because he went to the Skankies. He won a World Series and he threw a no-hitter with them, which he never did with us. So, congrats, Dwight. I love you. I used to wear your number. To be honest, I used to have number 6.
Yeah, but he also didn't strike out 276 and have 22 complete games with the Yankees. So I mean, it's that 1 feat. But if you look at what he accomplished with us, it overwhelms that one no-hitter.
Yeah. He became a drug addict and let us down. Yeah. He did great with us too.
Farace, do you have that picture my dad took of you and I with Doc? I can't find it. I was looking for it.
Oh, for sure, I have it.
If you find it, send it to me. I wanted to put it up on the put it in the books page because both you and I were like starstruck looking at Doc. And
yes, I believe it was a picture of me just like kind of staring up at him, and
I'm like.
That's awesome.
Rodriguez was late, so he didn't get to meet him.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, was I there that day?
Yep.
Did I come?
You arrived later.
Oh yeah.
We didn't even Keith and I were just walking around the outer parts of the stadium, just walking around, and there's a group of people, and I didn't even realize at first, but then I look over to the right, it's Dwight Gooden, and he's taking pictures, telling stories about school back in the day and in Brooklyn and whatnot.
Think about how great his stuff was that he only had 2 pitches.
Yeah,
a fastball and a curveball. That's all he had. But he also had a great catcher. Lord Charles. I mean,
6-12, baby.
It's like it just dropped, man. It was amazing how good those 2 things were.
They asked him about it. They said, "Do you see your curveball in today's game anywhere?"
He said nowhere.
And he did.
Garrett Cole.
He went. No? Yeah, he went to the Yankees again.
Yeah,
he went to the Skakes.
Yeah, it's there in Garrett Cole's arm, but he's injured.
But you know what? I love that. It's not his fault. The Wilpons. That's all I gotta say.
The Wilpons?
The Wilpons. They really destroyed the franchise. And as Met fans,
hold on.
So much.
We got a timeout. Timeout, real quick. Keith, do you not like the Wilpons?
I don't know. That's debatable. I mean, if I had to do like on a scale of 1 to 10, if I like them and don't like them, if I started with don't like them, that's probably more like a 10. And like them is probably more like a 0. So probably I didn't like them.
So you see what Bohan, excellent comment. I've heard this before, but Pete Rose said he was tipping his 2 pitches in 85 and they still couldn't hit him.
Because he was nasty.
They knew what was coming.
That's what I'm saying. Was
if you can hit it, you can name
like
it.
99, 98, 99 the way he was throwing.
This is also a different time, right? This is you still had Nolan Ryan in the league. Now you got Doc. You got Mike Scott. I mean, I can go on.
Cheater.
You have pitchers who don't care if they brush you and you're mad because they'll swing at you as soon as you reach the mound. Now everything is just so protected, and we don't want those things happening. And I get it. I don't want my players out there in a brawl and getting hurt, but you also have to be able to
How did we get to a brawl? What happened now?
Because I'm thinking
talking about the fight in the 80s.
Like you pitch in, and players get mad, and sometimes you hit them, and then the players start talking crap, and then you hit them on purpose, and that's not really allowed in this day and age. I think that respect. Intimidation caused a little bit of respect, and I don't think that exists today. So I think
home plate
won't exist anymore.
I'm a pitcher. That's my home plate. Get off.
Right. he threatened people with that fastball because Doc's fastball was, I mean, when it hit that glove, whoa. You know what I mean? It was like DeGrom when DeGrom was Saigram. When it hit that glove, but Saigram wasn't as aggressive.
Rodriguez is getting so annoyed talking about Dwight Gooden, who went to the Yankees, to Grom now.
You know, well, I mean, like the best center fielder.
What about Carlos Beltran? Yeah. What about Beltran?
So Beltran, DeGrom, Beltran.
Look at Rodriguez's face. It's like, where do we go wrong here tonight?
Why are we talking about Beltran and
Beltran?
the other guy and the traitor? Why are we talking about? They're not even on the team. They're not even on the team. They're nobody. They're nobody. Yeah. You know what? I give Beltran. All right, the traitor. I'll never give that up. Traitor deserves to.
Wait. No, let's not get into that now. That can't be. Let's not do it.
That's right.
All right.
You know say it.
Wait a minute.
Producer Joe.
Wait a minute. Did he just say Beltran?
By the way, I realize that I have a large mole on my face.
You didn't need a mole reset.
I didn't say Beltran. I said Detron or Belgram. I'm not sure what you want to say.
I heard Beltran. I ran for the mole.
Producer Joe, I'm going to give you an opportunity here to not put Rodriguez to sleep. What did you think about the ceremony as a whole? For on the whole, huh?
I think that it was a poor idea to do it early in the season when it was cold, and it's a shame that it wasn't a full house because it was raining, and they should have either held off or postponed, waited till there was more people there. That was a shame. I thought it was very classy. I thought it was nicely done. Well, I mean, they were supposed to be on the mound or behind home plate, and they're all the way out in center field. You know, I thought it was well done. They gave nods to his family. Hey, let me help him. They gave a nod to his family, and they, you know, he got his digs in at the Wilpons like he wanted to. So. You know, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great. I was very disappointed to see a half-empty house. He deserved to hear that stadium rocking one more time. You know,
you think if it was July or August, it would have been a lot more full.
Well, I mean, look at Straw. Straw's in June. You know, I guarantee right now there's going to be a full house when they retire Straw. You know, I guess doing it that early in the season when it's still cold. It was just they didn't put forethought into it. But
yeah, that's a really good point. I mean,
it was well done. The Coens have a ton of class. They really do. They have a good connection to the fans. They know what we want to see, and So
can I just applaud Joe's?
All Mets alum.
That was actually a really good job.
I don't. Well, Rodriguez is catching up on the beauty sleep.
Yeah, I'll bring him back when he wakes up. F him. I mean,
FM. Radio.
Terzio's
FM. That was a really good assessment, Joe. I didn't think radio, along with like the time of year and so forth. I really took that the stadium was not as full as it should be because of the prices that are being charged right now. But the fans are demanding the Wilpons. Jesus, please, Lord, help me! Don't ever say that again. Demanding the Coens to spend. Money's gonna come in. It's gotta come from somewhere. So
I think it was more weather. I think it was clear that it would have been okay even with the
whether or not he's a traitor. Skanky.
Oof. Joe. Oof. Wow.
No, I love Doc.
Terzio says my ex-wife always has a full house.
Ooh. All right, Terzio.
There it is. Always a full house. All right, so that was the Dwight Gooden deal. He said all the right things. No issues.
One more thing.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to say it was really, really good seeing Barry Lyons there. It made so much sense, and I could see it really touched Dwight Gooden's heart when he saw Barry Lyons there. And
what about Dykstra? Dykstra was there.
Was that?
Dykstra was there.
Was he?
And Darling was there. Yes.
I didn't see Dykstra.
Saw pictures. How awkward is this? Like uh, Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling, they work together. They're close, I assume. And then Keith Hernandez is taking pictures with Lenny Dykstra. That
Did
caused
Ronnie sit next to
controversy.
Dykstra?
Ronnie wasn't in the only picture I saw of Dykstra. Ronnie was definitely not in it. It was
Dykstra's a psychopath. He's a woo, but yeah. All kidding aside, it was even good to see Barry Lyons, but it just didn't make as much sense as everybody else.
Lions.
Terzio, watch it on YouTube.
Seeing Gary's wife was really nice.
That was nice. That was very nice.
Yeah, it was
It's
a
a shame.
really nice ceremony. Yeah, but anyway,
It's a shame he's not around.
All right, let's reel it back into current day. I do want to hear everybody's thoughts on the job Carlos Mendoza is doing. We kind of touched a little bit upon it, but diving a little bit further into it during those, I feel like it's a completely different manager from the first 5 games. Like he was still taking it all in. He was learning. He was, maybe a little bit indecisive in some of the things that he did. But that game in Atlanta, when we were talking in the chat, when we were down 4-0, and I think it was Keith, you said it. That's it. Good night. There's no faith in the Mets coming back from 4-0, right? And that was a Nimmo game where he hit 2 home runs, got it, and since then 10 out of 13 are right in the midst of it. So I feel like Mendoza has now is starting to push the envelope with double steals, with hit and runs, especially with guys who wouldn't normally do double steals, with even aligning the defense. He's being a little bit more aggressive earlier in counts when he's got the infield in, those type of things. I think he's doing a really good job with the bullpen. I think he's gaining confidence in some of these guys, where we see Drew Smith. Drew Smith has been really good this year so far, and he even came in and closed the game when Diaz and Ottavino were not available. So he is learning who to trust and in what situations. I think he's really doing a good job at that. And Rodriguez, push it to you. Is it I know you've been very critical of our pitching coach. Do you think that Mendoza has had a positive impact on him? One, and do you think it really took him just a few games to steady himself and start being a little bit more decision making?
I agree with that in a sense that he was starting to figure things out and just watching the game, but he has a way of playing. He has that way of playing, and his way of playing is to be an aggressive player and to look for baseball things to do, like double steals. Okay, you can't double steal if no one's on base. So yeah, 0-5, nobody's getting on base. He couldn't do a double steal. He can't do that. Luckily the pitching has come through. The guys the starters have pitched well, and the bullpen has pitched well. And now that the guys are playing offense and actually getting on base, he can do double steals. He can bunt guys over. Like I said before, when major league teams are playing so stiff and they have their way of playing and they're not thinking, why not do something out of the box? Why not do something that's outside of the box? Just bunt, man on first and second, bunt the guys over to second and third. I don't care if the guy makes it out at first base. You still have 2 more chances to get a couple of runs in. And when you're on second and third and you have 2 major league batters coming up, they have 2 good chances to at least get a fly ball, get a run in. It's all about pressure and scoring runs, so. And I
Is that like an Alexa thing? I think Rodriguez triggered Alexa's.
Did I trigger Alexa's sexual?
No, somebody rang my doorbell. Sorry.
Alexa, take it easy, Alexa. I'm just talking about the Mets later.
She's excited. She's a Mets fan.
She's excited. She's a Mets fan. I think Mendoza is finding himself as a manager, and he has to be an aggressive manager with this team. I mean, you don't have all-star pitchers. You have a few all-star offensive guys, but they're not performing. So you have to put pressure on the other team. You have to do things out of the box. You have to steal, you have to bunt, you have to take the extra base, you have to be aggressive on the base paths. All these things are sort of like minor league things that teams do in the minor leagues, and they don't really do in the pros anymore. Bunting is a lost art form in the pros. But you have McNeil, who God forbid he bunts, bunting, which is amazing. Okay, and
He bunted
and
yesterday on an 0-1
you know,
count, I think. McNeil, didn't he?
McNeil is starting
was
to
the
do McNeil
bunting.
things. Like
Well,
overall, he's
because
starting to slice the ball
he's
to left
actually
field.
he's
Yeah.
swinging the ball like this. He's swinging like this now, not like this, not like a golf swing. I'm never gonna
There's-
stop, dude. That golf is the worst thing that he could do.
Listen,
It's the worst.
Terzio is
But
reminding us
God
that
bless
Juice
him.
Smith was in the Lucas Duda deal, and is that
Oh.
the reason why I saw like SNY saying the Mets have officially won the Lucas Duda deal? I mean, all right, that's fine. Terzio also
Come
mentioned,
on.
wait, let's bringing up all these guys. Justin Verlander is starting tomorrow night for the very underwhelming Houston Astros, who in the Astros are in the same division as the Oakland Athletics, and Oakland is not in last place. It's Houston. It's the cheaters are all in last place.
Yeah.
Love it. Producer Joe, what you got down there?
Bernardino
what's that
Geronimo
picture?
is starting for Boston too. Who gets this?
Head animal. Head animal. Oh, this is all the guys that were there.
Oh,
Look at my
that.
Here goes
dad.
Barry.
Yeah,
Dad.
I called that up because Frank asked if Wally was there.
I
Yes,
love
he
seeing
was.
Jesse.
And-
I
and
love
you know,
seeing
and-
Sheffield there. Hojo.
Just one
I
more
mean,
time, I just have to say, what the hell is Sheffield doing there? Get out of the picture. Get out of the
His
picture.
nephew.
Well, it's his nephew.
He was a Met for one season. Get out.
Yeah, but
Get
dude,
out.
He hit his
Get
500th
out.
home run.
Get
As a
out.
Met. Don't
Nah,
do that.
I don't agree. Doc's father trained him in baseball. It's a family member.
Producer Joe as well.
He's
You
an
know,
honorary
Producer
Met.
I
Joe's an
mean,
asshole.
but-
he's 4 years older than Sheffield Gooding is. So you don't think Sheffield was at City Field at Shea Stadium with the Mets when he was young, looking at things,
Yeah.
and you don't think Dwight had tried to get him drafted, all that. I mean, the kid has been with the Mets or at least involved in the Mets somehow since he was a young man. So he played with the Mets 1 year, hit his 500. I understand what producer Joe's saying, but he's wrong. Sorry,
No,
producer Joe.
I agree. He's
You're
wrong.
just too angry.
Sheffield had
You're
every
just
right
too
to be
angry.
there. It's his nephew, and
He's always angry. So it is.
I know. I'm saying
That was-
producer Joe.
Wasn't that the
See?
Hulk's? Wasn't
See?
that the Hulk's secret? I'm always angry.
Jesse looked
Yeah.
really good.
He's no Hulk. I'll
Jesse
tell you
Roscoe
that.
looked really good.
Lenny Dice
He's
should get
more-
and fight with Thorn
He's
Darling.
more like
now.
Barry Lyons. Look if you see Barry Lyons right over there. Yeah, he's a little bit more like Barry Lyons. No Hulk.
Barry Lyons is
Jesse
at
Orozco
Longhorns
looks
3
good.
nights a week.
Orozco's looking good.
I don't think
Strowman
I
just had a
think
heart
that's
attack.
his
Jesse's
son. I
looking
think
really
that-
good.
that's his son.
I
That
love
can't be
Mookie.
Orozco because Orozco's getting younger.
Mookie's,
What?
Mookie is
Mookie
just
always looks.
Mookie's
always
just a
looks
great guy. I remember George and I when we were
Mookie.
kids, we were online for opening tickets when he opened the box office, and you'd have to go to those windows, and
Box office.
the line would form around the stadium. It was like a Saturday, and it was George and I online, and Mookie just kind of walked up to us, and we started asking Mookie questions. He must have sat with us for a good half hour, just shooting the breeze, hanging out. I mean, we were kids. I mean, Mookie is such a
Good
good dude. In terms of he's just down to earth. And
He didn't actually
Why isn't
come
my
back to
dad
his
looking at
car,
the
did he?
camera?
what was that? And he was just a hustling ball player. I mean, he was just a lot of respect for Mookie. A lot of respect for Mookie.
Why isn't my
He
dad
took
looking
Lee
at the
Mazzilli's
camera?
spot. Yeah, your dad's probably drunk.
He wasn't looking at the camera at all. He was looking to the right. I don't know what's going on.
Who?
My dad.
Hojo, man. Hojo. Come on.
What? Where's the joke missing you, bro?
I don't know. He seems upset.
What's
man.
wrong with Keith? Keith is okay. You're
I just must be
doing all right, Keith. All right. One thing. Not. I mean, it's Mets related because it happened in the game. But really quick, we talked about this in our chat. I got really pissed off about it. But the pitcher for the young rookie for the Pirates, who was mowing down the Mets, 59 pitches in 5 innings, and he gets taken out. that right there, and there was people were talking about it the day after, and they were talking about how this is a connection. This is an owner agent driven issue, obviously, but the kid was throwing 101 top of the zone with control. He was mowing down the hitters. And Rodriguez, I'll start with you on this. But you, as let's say, all right, let's rewind the clock. You're 21-year-old pitcher. You're out there, City Field. Yeah, you kind of got told you're going to go 5 innings, but you got 59 pitches through 5 innings. And then the worst part of it might be is that the organization, his agent, whatever, has now programmed this kid to answer these questions afterwards. 5 innings, 59 pitches, were you expecting to go more? His answer was, if you want to see me later on in the season, these are the things that have to happen. So, Rodriguez, this is not a 21-year-old kid who wants to go out there and compete. These are lines that are being fed to him. That's what I think.
It's a different ball game now, right? The ball game right now is go out there and throw every pitch at 100%. So he had 59 pitches. If you throw 59 pitches at 100%, you're gonna be way more tired than if you try to manage a game. So that's what they're training these guys to do. And there's also the fact that this was not a managerial decision. The manager didn't decide to do this. There's no way in heck that any manager worth his pay, it's going to take a guy out in the 5th inning with 59 pitches. Management said this guy is only going 5 innings no matter what. He's only going this amount of pitches no matter what. Because if they taught him to actually pitch and not throw and be an actual pitcher and manage a game, he would not need to. He wouldn't be coming out. He wouldn't throw 100-mile-an-hour pitch every other pitch. He wouldn't max himself out at 5 innings. So yeah, you have to take care of a guy like that because you're asking him to play above and beyond what he should be playing. Do you think Tom Seaver couldn't come out and throw 95, 97-mile-an-hour fastballs for 5 innings and mow everybody and destroy them? Of course they could do that. That's not the point. The point is you're supposed to pitch the game. You're the starter. That game is yours. If you look at it old school, if you look at it new school, any pitcher worth his salt will say, I'm pitching if I can. I'm giving my team the best I can. I'm keeping the other team down. That's what a pitcher's supposed to do. That's what a pitcher does. But nowadays it's not what a pitcher does because they have multiple bullpen guys that come in and pitch to an inning for 5 and 6 guys in the bullpen now. I think the bullpen is even more important than the starters now, to be honest with you. Yes. If I'm really looking at the game nowadays, because I need a great bullpen because my starters are only 5-inning pitchers.
All right, I've been
it's a 9-inning game.
Just to hear what you're saying, Rodriguez, and it's all built up. So let me just open up a little Hulk Hogan. Let me tell you about something, brother. If I had a kid who was a pitcher, I would teach him to pitch like Maddox with the ability to throw 98 miles an hour.
Right. That's right.
Because
that's
Maddox
what you want.
Never had these issues. But if Maddox was able to throw 98 miles an hour and he was just in a jam and he threw that 98 up and in the strike zone, it would confuse the hell out of everybody if he did that 4 or 5 times a game. They would not know what to expect going up to the plate. Maddox knew how to pinpoint everything. He had such motion and such spin on his ball.
That will help outside corners too sometimes.
And it was a sour point from Maddox.
That was before
don't talk about
before
pitchers.
I'll talk about pitchers.
We need every corner. We need every corner we can get.
Excuse me, but what happened with Tom Glavine before the pitch, the camera thing? He was.
I know what happened with
Glavine.
Corner, he went to throw down the middle and then hit his teeth on the taxi cab glass. Lost his teeth.
Well deserved.
Then he had no more middle to throw to, so he tried to throw outside, but his missing teeth exceeded the strike zone, and that was it. That was
Maddox threw hard early in his career. He was a hard thrower when he first came up with the Cubs.
Hold on, let me go.
He was a hard thrower, so he learned.
Keith is going on a rant about Maddox.
Yeah, he's talking about a Braves.
Only
a Brave
fan.
guy. You know?
But Maddox was better than Glavine, and Glavine was a disappointment.
But also,
What I just said.
Maddox also the Back It Up binge podcast. Loving the Mets. I like it. Keep the momentum.
Orioles.
All right.
Wait a
I gotta
second.
be
Is that
honest,
an
I've been
Orioles?
watching the Orioles. I've been a little bit of an Oriole fan. Of
Wait, but
course,
I don't.
outside the
We're not
Mets.
going on an Orioles tangent, Keith. This is a Mets show.
It is just like we're not going on basketball, but I just want to say I've been rooting for the Orioles because they are disrupting the Yankees. They are
The
disrupting
Knicks and the Rangers. Hold on a second. Time out.
Any
I
team
want to
that
run this
can
past
mess
you.
up
Wait.
the Yankees.
Time out.
Oh,
I want to
here we
run this
go.
past you. I want to run this past you guys. All right.
Uh-huh.
This is we're going to talk
I
Is it
disagree already.
baseball?
non-baseball related. Really
All
quick.
right.
All right. Ready? Don't do it, Keith.
All
All right. Let's rewind. Stop it. 30 years.
I threw up in my mouth.
30 years. 1994. God.
There it is.
Oh my God. Listen.
There it is.
Look what happens when you win 10 out of 13.
He's jamming.
We don't. All right. 1994, 30 years ago, 1994, the Rangers win the Stanley Cup. The Knicks go to the finals, and OJ's on the run. 30 years later,
No, don't do that. OJ's
Stop
dead. And now
the Rangers, the Rangers are the 1 seed. The Knicks are the 2 seed, and OJ's dead. They're both going to win the championship.
Going to play this weekend, or I don't want to talk about that. That's just crazy. It's morbid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's let him back when he understands this is a baseball show. All right.
Thank you, Joe.
I know. Stop talking about OJ. Come on, man. Everybody's happy he's dead. He's a murderer.
That's what I'm saying. It is reversing everything. The Knicks are going to win the championship this year.
Oh, there he goes again.
Oh, that's what it is.
If Alvarez was at the plate and the glove didn't fit, would
Thank you,
quit?
Joe. Thank you
No.
very much.
Baseball.
I would like to point.
Baseball.
I would like
Baseball.
to point out. I
Baseball.
would like to point out. Yes, that's true. I would like to point out that when I was brought back into the broadcast just a few seconds ago, that it was Rodriguez that mentioned OJ, and I got kicked out again. Just want to.
Me?
Yeah.
You started talking about him.
Yeah, but when I got brought back in, you all right? Stop scratching me with the claw. All right, let's go to future here. We got a much deserved day off tonight from emotions also, but we go to Los Angeles. Emotional damage. All right, well, did we have this?
There it is.
Did we have this on our bingo card? No, I'm not going to go bingo. Producer, don't kick me out because I'm talking baseball. But Sean Manaea has a slightly lower ERA than Yamamoto, and big difference in salary there. So Friday night, Yamamoto, who we offered a ton of money to, and he just turned us down, went to Los Angeles.
If I'm not mistaken, he turned down the same amount of money or close to it.
Yeah.
Just
I
to
was
play with
talking-
the Dodgers.
Sean,
It was collusion. Call it what it is.
collusion.
What's
And if I'm not
his
mistaken, there
name?
are no
Brought him
trolleys
over
in
to
Los
LA.
Angeles to Dodge.
There it is. That makes perfect sense.
I want to smack this mother effer up Friday night.
Smack him up.
I
All
want
right.
to
Come on.
Well,
5 runs
Both
in
101.
3
Manaea has a ballooned ERA from his last start. Outside of that, he's pitched pretty well for the Mets thus far. But
He's pitched very well.
facing a different type of lineup than what he has seen so far. That's against the
Not
Dodgers.
much different. They're weak.
Yeah, no biggie. Jose Buto
I like
gets a start
when I
on Saturday.
cannot lie.
Is that
Who's
right?
he pitching? Who's he
15
pitching
strikeouts in
again?
just one game, guys. This is not. He's pitching against TBD, but that's not accurate.
Oh,
So
okay.
it says he got 15 strikeouts. He didn't strike out 15 guys in the
He's
one
pitched
game.
2 games.
Yeah,
He pitched 2 games. What was
Yeah.
the second game that he pitched?
This was the second game. The last one he just pitched. He
There was
pitched
a
before
game
that,
you
didn't
were
he?
watching the Yankees that you didn't pay attention to.
Oh,
that's right. Forgot about that
Skanky
one.
fan. Skanky
It's
fan.
the Mets show, Keith. All right. Well, we don't know who we're we have no idea. As I look to the rest of the West Coast trip, we have no idea who we're facing. Hauser goes on Sunday. What do we got? A 4:10. See, this is going to be the problem. Producer Joe is going to wake up on Sunday. He's going to get his paper out because he still does that. Get the coffee going, and then he's going to text me or text us in the group chat, blaming me for a 4:00 start on a Sunday afternoon. That's what's going to happen.
But he's right.
Adrian of course. Adrian Hauser is going to pitch that game. 0-1, 4.70 ERA, 9 strikeout. He's not a strikeout guy. He's a walk.
Click tickets. Let's see how much they are.
How you pitch 5 innings and you got like a 5-point ERA?
Let's see how much tickets are.
A running inning, Hauser. Keep it up.
Click those tickets. Let's see how much they are.
Don't do it. Wait, what? I'm just catching up on the chat. Terzio is really going at it with OJ. What are we doing here? What do we got here? All right. This is where we're going here.
Wow, 13.50 for what?
35. The range is 35 to 13.50.
Yeah, 35 is like section 1 on top.
Wow.
Yeah, that 35 is out here.
Yeah, don't we have like $20,000 seats at Citi Field, right field?
We're not talking about Citi Field.
I understand that.
Citi Field is.
We're going ticket shopping.
All right, $67 out here. That's not that bad. That's not.
Where the hell is that? Where are we?
All the way out in left field.
Jeez.
Everybody,
tell me those section 2 right there. What do we got here?
196.
That's actually not bad right back there.
Yeah, that's right behind home plate, right there.
When I was a kid, we used to get the coupons in the Sunday paper, and we get tickets at Shea for $5.
See, you let off with when I was a kid, and the coupons in the Sunday
paper.
That
was only like 3 years ago. I just grew up yesterday.
Yeah, okay. We really got nobody to discuss here on the pitcher side and the other guys. Quintana will open up the Giant series, and then there's nothing else after that. Let's just stick with the Dodgers. What we know.
So what we were saying before, we don't really have pitchers to discuss. They just go out there and they're workhorses. They get through it, you know.
They're not workhorses. 5-inning pitch is not a workhorse. Give me a freaking break.
Oh my God, I'm trying to be positive.
You could be positive, but they're not workhorses.
I don't need your truth to contradict my positivity.
I'm sorry, I'm being truthful. I apologize.
All right. Well, with the limited with the limited information that we have, what say you guys on this Dodger series? Keith, what do you think?
So we're not predicting the okay. 1 and 2.
Be truthful or don't be, because I know what you want to say.
I honestly think we're going to kick the crap out of Yamamoto. We're going to be like, woohoo! And then we're just going to get slaughtered the next 2 games. That's really what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to be 1 and 2 for the Dodger series.
Slaughtered.
Wow. That's kind of.
When I say slaughtered, we can win by 1 run and we could lose by 1 run. But to me, that's being slaughtered because I'm a Mets fan. I want to win 10-0 every game. So I think we're definitely winning 1 game. I really do think it's going to be the Yamamoto game, and I think we're going to lose the next 2 games or whatever it is, 1 and 2 for the Dodgers.
All right, Rodriguez, what do you think? Diana, that's the outlook that we're looking for, Diana.
Offense.
Thanks,
I just hope we don't get straight. There it is. And Diana is right. I mean, you know, they're much better offensive team than the other teams that we played. But again, if you pitch and you make them reach and you make them try to hit a ball where they don't want to hit it, you keep them out of their comfort zone and you do the right things as a pitcher and you play good defense. Then the offense have to come through. The Dodgers have good pitchers. So in all honesty, yeah, I'm thinking 1 out of 3 with the Dodgers. That I really believe we'll win 1 game. I think we can sneak in and get another game, get 2 out of 3. But if I'm being honest, 1 out of 3 is all I'd be very happy with 1 out of 3 from the Dodgers right now.
Producer Joe?
We split the 6-game set. We're gonna go 3-3. We'll win 1 against the Dodgers and 2 against the
You don't
Giants.
make
You
up
didn't get
your
to
own
the
rules
Giants
here.
yet.
No, that's not
We
what he was
should-
saying there. That's what Keith was trying to say. He was gonna say
I
3-3.
just said we win 1
You know?
against the Dodgers. Did you hear me? Did you? Open
I
your
did,
ears,
Joe.
jackass.
I'm with you,
I
Joe.
said 1 out of 3 against the Dodgers, and I gotta be honest.
Call me a jackass when you see me face to
Okay,
face.
yeah,
Joe,
all right. Yeah,
Joe, you
all
have
right,
really
tough
nice
guy.
butt cheeks,
Go
and I
talk-
heard you, and I'm with
talking
you,
about- Go ahead.
I didn't.
and I love you, Joey.
Hey,
Let's do the
Steve.
jackass
Hey,
thing. Just
Steve,
remember that.
Steve,
You're gonna call me a
listen,
jackass when you
hey,
see me face
Steve,
to face.
listen,
and we'll talk about
Steve,
it. We'll talk about the
listen,
we do it
situation.
live.
Listen.
We'll do it live.
Joe, mute everybody. I can't hear you.
Why don't mute everybody?
I'm gonna say it now, Kat. I'm sorry for what.
I'll kiss your producer ass so I get more airtime. Come on, give me a
I'm
break.
sorry, Kat. I'm apologizing ahead of time.
1 out of 3
so-
against the Dodgers and 2 out of 3 against the Giants. You didn't give me a chance to talk about that kid, Jared Jones. Let me tell you something. I don't know if any of you saw it, but the kid had an interview after the game, and the kid is like, well, if you want to see me pitch in September, this is what we have to do now. I'm like, what? What? Did anybody see that? That's literally
said
what
it.
the kid said.
Didn't
Oh, I didn't hear
Farace
you.
say
I
that? If
wasn't
you were
listening to you.
listening,
All right,
jackass.
no, I
Rodriguez.
wasn't.
Next time-
What? Yeah, shut up. I
No.
don't
Hey
listen
Joe,
to
can I
Farace.
just jump in on that? Joe
Yeah,
was
go.
listening. He was just trying to highlight what Farace was saying, so that way
Right.
it's
Yeah.
known. Because Joe is the ultimate producer.
Why
Joe is the
listen to
best
show?
producer, and anything Joe says is
Mm.
comes through with so much knowledge. And
Wipe it off. Wipe it off.
you
Flowers.
all need
Wipe
to
it
like just
off.
kind of calm down,
Wipe it off.
let Joe speak. Love
This
you,
is
Joe.
Yeah, I need a
This
nap.
is
Go
it.
ahead, start talking.
Wow. Oh man, that was good. All right. Well, do you guys remember a few years back where we were kind of like languishing, really not doing well, and then we hit a Dodgers series and we played well. We didn't win. I think we lost 3 out of 4 actually. We didn't win, but that propelled us. We played well against Dodgers, and that propelled us, gave those guys the confidence. I think that yes, we can get 1 out of 3, and I'm with Rodriguez that we can. The way that we've been playing and the aggressiveness that's been going on, Dodgers lineup has not been what the Dodgers lineup was hoping for it to be. It's coming. Hopefully not this series, but I think that the aggressiveness that Mendoza has been putting out on stage, and just the camaraderie, the chemistry is huge. I think that they can sneak out another one. I think the Mets went 2 out of 3 on this one.
Joe, can you take the peanut gallery out again real quick and put me center stage? Because I got something I want to say. Do you mind? I just want to say that Farace just said Joe was right. And I've been saying from the beginning, Joe is right. Okay, Joe, go ahead.
I didn't say Joe was right. I said I agree with Rodriguez.
No, I just said
Neither
Joe
one
was
of them.
right.
Show,
You said that without knowing you said it.
Oh, it was yeah. Okay, I got it. I got what's going on.
I love you, Joe.
Producer Joe's just mad because he lost in fantasy to my stupid team. That's why he's still mad at me.
Hold on a second. You had you pitched you had a complete game on your stupid
I didn't
staff
do a
last night.
damn thing. It was a stupid fantasy team. I didn't do a damn thing.
No, but I'm saying your team against me.
Oh, against you?
Yeah,
Oh,
62 points.
Joe, they're
Yes,
going
sir.
off course where we're talking about the
65.
series coming up.
By the way.
65. Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent out there. All right, let's not pick. Let's
that I
not really.
noticed.
Yeah, I open up the app this morning and I look at our score and I'm like, where the hell did he get all these points from? And I'm like scrolling through. I'm like, where are the points? 65.
I drafted him.
Wait, was that the Philly guy? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. All right, let's get the hell up out of here.
Feels better.
Real quick round robin here before we get out. Keith, what you got on the way to La La Land?
And
Oh, wait a second.
Land, I
Keith,
didn't
hold on.
predict the Giants
Stop it.
series, so-
Stop it. Wait, hold on. Terzio before, don't do that. Terzio before said that you have an outdated background. We have a much bigger scoreboard, and you need to honor that. So you need to get the background updated with the new giant scoreboard.
You know what, Terzio, for calling me out, you get no punishment.
You get
So
nothing.
I say I will look into correcting that, Terzio.
It's gonna look into it.
Yes, I'll look into it. I'll see if I can find any. I'll look into it. So I didn't comment on the Giants. We're going to 2 out of 3. We're going to go 3 of 3 on the road. I agree with the almighty wise Joe. I love the fact that the Mets are coming into their zone. And we're getting key hits.
Starting an avalanche here, Keith. Diana saying I was thinking the same thing last week. They're coming down on you for using outdated City Field.
Frank, I just want to tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Right. And I will correct it for you because you guys mean so much to me. So I just want to say that I think that Joe is right. We're going to go 3 and 3. Joe called it perfectly. And I really have nothing more to add what Joe said because it was just a beautiful congelation.
Congelation. He's making up words now.
We're going to go 3 and 3. I wish we'd go 4 and 2, but we're going to go 3 and 3. Thanks, Joe, for instilling your wisdom onto me. I appreciate you, brother.
I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Rodriguez, what'd you
know
got?
what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Shea Stadium up next week, Diana. How about that?
Keith, your turn is over, Keith.
I know I'm not over until I say I'm over. Shea Stadium next week. Sorry, I'm over now.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, he gets
wow, Rodriguez.
All the kissy butt. All the brown nosing got him an extra.
Well, it's not
spot.
brown nosing. If you call truth brown nosing, then I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm looking at 500 for this road trip, which would be great. Hopefully we'll win one extra from the Dodgers and stuff. But I think we could do 2 out of 3 from the Giants and go 500.
All right.
Can I just interrupt more and extend things more and delay things?
Yeah, why don't you?
Absolutely. No one else has anything to do.
Can we do a 10 o'clock
Producer Joe for
live chat on the Put It in the Books Facebook page tomorrow for the game?
Yes. Tomorrow. Yes.
God,
sure.
Send him the picture, please.
I think that'd be fun, right?
Yes. I'll do it live
and we'll
in my evening attire.
Well, no, we won't be doing live. We'll be doing chat.
I can do live in my evening attire.
On my end.
Evening attire. Now he's got
Producer Joe, attire. What you got on the way out here? Oh, speaking of Producer Joe, what you got there?
Not much. It's a lot more fun now than our last show. We're having a good time. It's nice seeing the guys having a good time and gelling together. So
I gotta say, Joe's right again.
Fun. Yeah, see, it's fun. It's fun watching them now because they are obviously having a good time. And,
I am.
Winning rules, man.
My room is dark until you speak, Joe, and then I'm filled with light.
Emotional damage.
The American Express plum card. Me to put the petty cash. We need a new background HD petty cash. That's where Terzio's saying for me. All right, that does it for us this week. Again, much deserved day off tonight. Mets head on to the West Coast tomorrow night. I think it's 10 o'clock start tomorrow, and then earlier games on Saturday and Sunday, and then on to San Francisco. Before the Met game starts, got playoffs for the other sports. So have fun with that. We'll keep you updated on all things Mets in the Put in the Book Show group. And let's get up on out of here. Producer Joe, let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.
Put up the books.